Hey guys, I'm back. So now power is restored. We can go on. Depression has an equal and opposite emotion. First, depression is not an emotion. I need to let you know that. Depression is a state of mind. Depression is a condition of the mind, and it is expressed via emotion. So you can get to know if you're depressed just by virtue of the emotions that you express. We can get to know you're depressed because you're moody, because you're withdrawn, because you're upset, because you're erratic, because you can throw tantrums, and different perspectives. So depression by itself is not an emotion. It is a condition of the mind, but it's expressed through emotions. We say you are depressed. Haronke, welcome. Thank you. So we say you are depressed when it has lasted for a minimum of 14 days, 2 weeks. Someone is depressed when their state of condition of negativism or toxicity or pain or sadness or mood swings or any form of negative energy has lasted at least 2 weeks. So when you have momentary negative emotions or negative feelings, that in itself does not mean you are depressed. When you occasionally feel off track, occasionally feel upset, occasionally feel that you are not feeling yourself, that in itself may not mean you are depressed. But when it has lasted at least 2 weeks, then we can say there is a tendency you are depressed. Depression can range from mild to severe. Mild depression is when you are pretty much unhappy and sad and moody. And severe depression is when you begin to think suicidal, you begin to self-harm, you begin to hurt yourself, you begin to get erratic, you have to be clinically subdued and all those kind of stuff. So that is how depression works. Aronke is saying, is a person who is bereaved depressed? No. A person who is bereaved does not automatically become depressed. It is the management of that period that may lead to depression. Someone who has gone through a loss, a tragedy, loss of a loved one, can be depressed. But that bereavement in itself does not mean you can be depressed. There are many people who have lost loved ones and they didn't fall into depression. They were sad, they were heartbroken, they were moody, they were unhappy, they were crying, they were broken, and all those stuff, but they didn't go into depression. So it's not automatic that a bereaved person is depressed, but it's possible for a bereaved person to enter depression. Don't forget, depression is not an emotion. It's a state of mind. It's a condition of the mind. It's a state. Okay, so when I say depression has an equal and opposite emotion, what does it mean? You see, depression is focus. Because it's a state of mind, it means that it is something that can be decided. It means that it is something that can be flipped. It's a state of mind, so it is a spectrum of decision. It's a spectrum where you enter and you stay. I have already established that depression is depression when your emotions have lasted 2 weeks. So it means that for you to enter depression, 14 straight days have to happen. That is staying in a state. Ima is saying, does depression have any visible sign? I will share the signs shortly. So depression is a state where you stay in a negative spectrum. You stay in a negative spectrum. It means that I am facing a particular direction. Now, so if you look at it this way, if you enter a pipe, when you enter a pipe, because you've entered with your head, a pipe most likely is not where you can turn. A pipe is most likely where you can fit into and you're facing one direction. I want you to see depression like a pipe. When you enter that state, you are most likely going to be finding yourself in that direction. And usually when it has lasted 2 weeks, then you are in depression. But the flip side is that instead of facing that direction, what if I had entered the pipe with my legs? Means I'm facing the opposite direction. The opposite direction of depression is motivation. And motivation has equal and opposite rights like depression. Motivation and depression carry the same weight, but they are in two different directions. It's just like faith and fear. Faith and fear are the same in essence, but faith is looking one direction and fear is looking the other direction. They are the same, they have the same force, they have the same power, they have the same magnitude, they have the same impression, they have the same qualities. They cannot be seen, they can be felt. They need to be expressed, they need to be associated with different attributes and character. That's how faith and fear operate. The same way, motivation and depression are the same. The same power, the same capacity, the same potentials, the same strength, but in two different directions. So if you need to switch from depression, you need to focus on motivation. And that is why we normally recommend, don't joke with words of affirmation. Some of us around here think that affirmation is self-denial. It seems you're just talking gibberish. No. Affirmation is an ingredient for motivation. You can't be under a good affirmation and not be inspired. It's not possible. So number one, words of affirmation is a good motivational character. Number two, the holy books. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim or an atheist or whatever religion you are an adherent to, focus on your holy book. It is a major ingredient for motivation. If you need to fight depression, pay attention to the holy books. If you're a Christian, be a devoted Bible reader. If you're a Muslim, be a devoted Quran reader. If you're a Buddhist, be a devoted Buddhist reader. I don't know your book. If you are a Grail messenger, be a devoted Grail messenger, Grail book reader. Whatever your adherence, focus on your holy book. It is a major stimulant for motivation, which is the antidote for depression. Number three, have the right association around you. You cannot afford to be around toxic people. You can't afford to be around negative people. You can't afford to be around naysayers. You can't afford to be around people who look down on you. You can't afford to be around people who think you're wasting your time. You must be around people who stimulate you, who encourage you, who push you, who criticize you positively and constructively, who make you see the right side when you're seeing the wrong side, who make you see caution when you're seeing too much visibility. Be around the right association, because the right people will stimulate greatness for you and not lead you into depression. That's number three. Number one, I said pay attention to words of affirmation. Number two, read your holy books. Number three, stay around the right association. Number four, know that you are God. God has put in you a God capacity. God cannot be depressed. And so the consciousness that I am a God would make me consistently give the best I can to life. But when I think that I am human, I am mortal, I can't do more than I am doing, I have the tendency to dip into depression. So you need to learn and agree. It's an agreement. I am God. I am the human version of a living God. And once I can understand this phenomenon, I know that anything I go through is a season and I will pass through it. That is number four. Number five, you need to be stuck on your vision. You need to learn that it is vision that keeps you sustained. And the moment you understand this, the resilience to pursue your vision will come. When you understand that God has sent you here for a purpose, and that purpose is your vision for life, you will realize that all it takes to go through life will be endowed. And so I want you to remember this conversation. If you want to beat depression, please go through these 5 phases. Thank you, Aronke, for sharing the points. I need everyone to watch this video and read these points. You can beat depression. Depression is a state of mind, but it has an equal and opposite emotion called motivation. Zig Ziglar said, people said motivation is short-lived. He said, but of course, it's just like having your bath. You have to do it every day. So every day, expose yourself to motivation. All of us who hate motivational speakers, I'm sorry, you may be shooting yourself in the leg. You may not like the face of the motivational speaker, but pay attention to his message, because motivation is the opposite of depression. Expose yourself to positive words. Expose yourself to a positive mental attitude. Expose yourself to what can help you stay inspired and sustained. It's okay to be tired, but it's not okay to stay tired. It's okay to be moody. It's not okay to stay moody. It's okay to be frustrated, but it's not okay to stay frustrated. Don't forget this message. The least you should do is to share this video. Can someone hear this message because of you? Thank you for joining me on this conversation. I can see you all, and I'm most grateful because you have joined me. If you're in Port Harcourt, let's hook up tomorrow, because it's going to be a fantastic weekend. We're going to be talking about how to break even in 90 days. I'm going to be sharing why you should change your brand name, why you should step up to the plate with respect to your business vision and conversations. Port Harcourt, see you tomorrow and Saturday. Don't forget to share this video, and please do this for me. Thank you and bye.